16 years ago, Halo 2 was released. Bungie's last hurrah to the Xbox video game system before moving to the Xbox 360. I still remember seeing the trailer for the first time during E3 the year before release and being blown away by the graphics and calling my nearest GameStop to pre-order the limited edition of the game. With the hype quickly building up to the release, it became very obvious this would become one of the most sold video games ever in history, with over 8 million units sold worldwide, and still being the most played game on the Xbox system today. Let us all take a look back and see why Halo 2 on the first Xbox console was such a huge success.
The main selling point with Halo 2 is that the story would take us to defending Earth, the home planet to the human race and sworn enemy by the alien Covenant. Fans had been asking for years after the first initial release of the first Halo game, Covenant Evolved, that Master Chief would be fighting on the human planet, Earth, home. Bungie did deliver, and boy did they deliver. However, the game quickly takes us into outer space as the alien leader escapes the planet after being overwhelmed by the humans, and Master Chief has to follow them so they can see what they're up to. This takes us on a great journey through the galaxy, exploring many different worlds on our path to saving humanity, and we also get to play as the alien Covenant who realizes that he has been deceived.
One thing that stood out to the fans was the narrative direction this game took. It was more focused on being as cinematic as possible, and I think Bungie really succeeded, especially with the fantastic soundtrack that was composed by the one and only Mike Salvatore. Just listen to this masterpiece. Overall, the campaign is highly praised by fans all over the world for being one of, if not the best in the series, and the praise in my opinion is completely justified. It also brought us the infamous Sniper Jackal. If you've played the campaign on Legendary, you know exactly what I mean. What Bungie did during this time is very impressive, despite the lack of technology at the time and the limited time they had to crunch before shipping the game on launch day, 9th November 2004. Truly a perfect Master Chief. It goes without saying that Halo 2's multiplayer is still one of the best multiplayer experiences today. It was Bungie's first attempt also at creating an online multiplayer experience. It's pretty common knowledge today that Halo 2 was the game that made Xbox Live become the big online sensation we know today. Without Halo 2, online gaming may never have been a thing, and we might still have played games offline with our friends on split screen. Despite the multiplayer being perfect and flawless, it didn't come without flaw. Controversies such as the swordfly and button combos were highly criticized by fans for being too OP and breaking the core gameplay of the game. With the introduction of dual wielding, it also brought us a lot of pain after experiencing the dual needler. But it was kinda fun though. Halo 2 gave us classic maps like Midship, Sanctuary, and that one map from Reach. With such a legendary map roster, the time spent in multiplayer would fly by with the amount of fun had, and countless memories would be created. I think it is pretty safe to say that, yeah, the multiplayer was awesome.
I could go on forever on why Halo 2 is one of the best games ever, if not one of the best games of all time. But in conclusion, I will never forget the time spent playing this masterpiece when I was younger and having a blast with my friends. And despite it not being a perfect game, it made me who I am, and I'm pretty proud of that. I will always love Halo, and anyone who does not appreciate Halo 2 is not really a Halo fan, I think. Thank you, Halo, for making me who I am and being the best game of all time.